Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Excuse me. Just want to go into this article that I found on Natural News, and this is something that we have brought out many times before, doing articles going into smart cities or, the 15-minute cities, right? Which the elites of this world have, talked about smart cities, 15-minute cities. So this article goes into smart city fires, not just Los Angeles, but every city designated as a future smart city has been burnt to the ground. Are these all coincidences? And no, it's not, right? To a person that is ignorant of what is written of in the scriptures and ignorant to the fact that, the elites are planning to enslave people, right? Specifically our people, but just in general, if you will, humanity. People that are ignorant of that fact are going to sit there and think that this is some type of, which I'm going to be a little cautious this time, some type of seed theory. They think that that's some type of theory that come up in your mind, some crazy theory. But yet, these are the things that, men like Yuval Noah Harari have talked about. You got your Klaus Schwabs, get men like them have come out and brought these things out. So how much of it is some crazed theory, but you have men, individuals going on talking about these type of things, right? And understand this, when they bring these things out to you, they're going to bring out the benefits, how it's convenient for you. But you have to understand the overlying thing or the underlying thing of these smart cities or 15-minute cities is pretty much to control the population, to control people, right? They will bring out how it benefits you, how it will make things better for you. But as I was meditating before doing this lesson, thinking about it, it's really all just to control you. So I'll read through the article. Lord's willing, the Spirit will have me bring back those meditations to mind, bring out some precepts, and Lord's willing, this is edifying. So, going into it, says, smart city burnout. Every major city slated for transformation into a smart city has recently experienced devastating fires, suggesting a pattern rather than mere coincidence, and we'll see how this goes. It says, these fires often start and spread rapidly, leaving little time for effective firefighting. It says, planned infernos. The timing and nature of these fires raise suspicion of deliberate actions, possibly involving weather or energy weapons, arson, or deliberate lack of resources for firefighters. Some see this as part of a blueprint to control populations through the creation of police state smart cities, and that's essentially what it is. The next bullet point is global impact. This phenomenon is not limited to a single region. Cities around the world, including Santiago, Spain, Cortana, Italy, and others, have all fallen victim to these fires. It raises questions about whether similar events might occur in other cities like London. Next bullet point, future smart cities. Several cities are targeted for smart city development, including Singapore, New York City, London, Paris, and many others. These cities are considered ideal for advanced technological integration, but the recent events raise concerns about potential government control and the population's loss of autonomy. All right, so I'll get to this. I'll get to this main point here. It says, we're not just talking about Maui and Los Angeles, but also Santiago, Chile, Spain, Cortana, Italy. All were announced to become smart cities in the near future. And they've all been devastated by infernos, that nobody had the proper resources to put out. Is London next? Should we expect to see climate change inferno burst out in London in the next few weeks, so that the government and globalists can seize all the land for free or at bankruptcy pricing for the new smart city? So, to explain to you what a smart city is, or a 15-minute city, I can't remember if this article goes into it. Oh, actually, yeah, let's read the next paragraph, and then I'll also explain as well. It says, what other cities are on the docket to become smart cities? Do you live in one now? Here are some other cities on the list that have been deemed perfect for the development of a 15-minute smart city dictatorship, where the government can turn off all power, electric vehicles, food supply, money supply, and internet with the flick of a switch, should the populace not fall in line with every narrative like a new pandemic, lockdown, or climate change lockdown. So essentially what a smart city is, or a 15-minute city is essentially, it's a radius of a couple of how many, blocks or whatever. And within that, now I'm going to start off with the convenience, right? Because these are things that they always talk about, right? It's going to be a certain radius, a certain couple of blocks, right? Maybe, a good few blocks. And within that, you will have everything. You will have access to pretty much all your primary needs within a 15-minute radius, right? So you don't have to go at a far distance to get something. Let me just use an example that I used in one of my lessons. Let's say, you want to go to the doctor, right? But you're not going to just go to any doctor. You want to make sure that you're going to a very good doctor, right? So you can, check up on yourself. But let's say the good doctor that you want to go to, right? The facility that you want to go to is extremely far away, right? And it's in a neighborhood that you don't know, right? So that may cause you to feel unsafe. Well, within this 15-minute cities or smart cities, you're going to have everything. Well, let me not say everything, but things at your disposal, things close to you. So that way, let's say you want to go to this facility that may be about an hour away, especially in an area that you don't know. Well, you don't have to worry about that, right? Within this 15-minute smart city, you will have access to that. You don't have to go that far. It's only 15 minutes away, if not even less than that, right? Within these 15-minute cities, they'll promise you'll have access and have the ability, or have everything, all your primary needs within a 15-minute radius, right? Again, if you want to go to the doctor, check up on yourself or whatever, it's 15 minutes away or less, right? You need to go to the grocery store, it's 15 minutes or less. Whatever you may need, whatever your primary needs are, it's 15 minutes away or less. And of course, that seems like convenient. Well, I don't have to go far. I don't have to go anywhere, right? See, starting off hearing these things, right? Hearing the convenience of these things, right? Because they always give you the convenience, the benefits. Hearing these things, you're going to think that, oh, well, this is, convenient. I don't have to go far. Everything's very close by, right? And especially now with certain, I'll say this word, viruses that come out, people are not so inclined to really want to be outside like that, don't really want to go far. Although people still go out and things like that, but the way things have been going on in the world, if you're paying attention, especially with what people will call the migrant crisis and things like that, people don't really want to be outside like that, especially not for long. So these things can be seen as a bonus, right? Okay, it's somewhere within my neighborhood, 15 minutes or less, so I don't have to go very far. I don't have to go anywhere dangerous, someplace I don't know, and things like that. It's in my region, right? 15 minutes, right? So again, these things start off sounding like, convenient. They sound like a benefit to you. Why wouldn't you want something like this, right? Especially, you're going to have access to all your primary needs within 15 minutes or less. But now when you start thinking out of that, right? And it's only until people get into these situations do they see that it is to control you. Because right now, me saying this, somebody might say, well, you're crazy, man. You're just theorizing all this type of madness. That's not what it's about. It's about convenience, man. How could this be bad? But okay, let's think about that, right? Let's say they start establishing these 15-minute cities all around the 50 states, right? Different regions, if you will. And within that, you now have to get some type of pass or something, right? And a lot of things are going digital now. So you now within that have to get your pass. Mind you, before these 15-minute cities, you can go wherever the hell you want. You don't have to get if you live like New York or whatever, you got to get a bus pass. But you don't necessarily need a pass to sit there and say, hey, I want to go to region 6 or something like that, right? Let's say you're in region 3 and you have a friend that lives in region 6, and it's pretty far away from you, right? Obviously, you're in region 3, they're in 6. So if you want to go there, hey, within this 15-minute city, you're going to need to, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to have to let it be known that, hey, set it up like, hey, like almost like an appointment. Hey, I have a friend in region 6, I want to go see him and things like that. Well, okay, fine. You can go see him, but hey, you can only go see him for this amount of hours. So let's say you want to do it 12 o'clock. Okay, fine. We'll allow you to go see a friend, but you must come back around 3 o'clock. We'll even give you an extended time of 30 minutes, no less than that. If you, come back past, 3:30, there's going to be a certain punishment or something that you're going to have to, feel the punishment or something, right? You're going to be in violation of something, break some type of code. And now you're starting to see, right, when you stop thinking about these little benefits, these little conveniences, and start thinking about, well, hey, what also comes with these 15-minute cities, right? And that's 2 Ezra, I believe, the 15th chapter, where it says, a man shall desire to go into a city, which I'll pull it up as well. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? So with these 15-minute cities comes control. It's not just for your benefits, right? They'll throw in these, hey, it's for your benefit, but you have to understand it's also to control you, right? Let me take off this alarm real quick, Salakia. Right? Excuse me. Right? So it's also to control you. It's also to make sure that they can what? Have everybody condensed in an area. 1 second, please. 1 second. Salakia. I apologize. Right? So it's about, having everybody condensed in one area, right? Also, we know that they want to do depopulation. So, of course, if you're going to do these 15-minute cities, you can't think about doing 15-minute cities right now and having the population that you have right now. You can't do that, right? You have to have the population reduced in order to hold people within these 15-minute regions, if you will, right? So again, using that example that I used earlier about the, hey, you're in region 3, you have a friend in region 6, right? And you have to, set it up like an appointment. Hey, I won't go visit my friend in region 6. Well, okay, that's fine. You set up, you want to leave and go meet them at, 12 o'clock. You set up so you can travel outside of your region to go see them. But hey, you have to be back in your region by 3 o'clock, right? Extended time, 30 minutes, no later than that. If not, you're breaking a penalty. You see, it's not like how it is now where you can go see somebody in another, like let's say Brooklyn to Harlem or Brooklyn to Queens or Brooklyn, Staten Island. There is no, I got to be back at a certain time. No, it's, hey, you want to go see a friend, you can go see a friend. You don't have to come back at all if you want to. You could spend the night at your friend's crib. There is no stopping you, right? No restriction. With these 15-minute cities, it also brings restrictions. It gives them control. But again, in your mind, you're just looking at the convenience. Everything is all my primary care is within a 15-minute radius. I don't have to go anywhere, right? They give you all these and tell you about all these benefits, but you're not realizing that it gives them control over you, right? Because you think that within having this 15-minute, what is the purpose of giving you a 15-minute city? So you can have everything at convenience within a 15-minute city radius. You don't have to go anywhere. Everything that you can want and need is 15 minutes away from you, right? So why are you leaving your region? Why are you leaving your area to do what? This is about controlling, right? Putting people pretty much like in a barn and saying, hey, you can't get out of this region, this area. This is your area. You stay here. And if you want to come out of your area, well, you're going to have to, pretty much check up with us, and we'll allow you to leave your region, but only for a designated period of time. You can't just leave like that when you want, right? Because you have to understand things are going to get crazy as well. So they're going to want to, make sure that, people are not doing anything crazy as well. Again, I apologize if I'm repeating myself over and over, but you have to understand this is not about convenience, right? They'll throw out that word convenience, but this is really about the other C word, which is control. Having people in a region where they can watch over them, survey them, and pretty much have control over them and make sure that they don't go or do anything that they don't want you doing, right? So that essentially is what a 15-minute city is. And when you start thinking outside of the box other than convenience, you realize that it's about control, like the example I was giving. Right, it says cities considered front runners for becoming smart cities, including Singapore, Zurich, also Taipei, Lausanne or Louisiana. I'm not sure if that's a typo. New York City, London, Paris, Tokyo, Seoul, Toronto, Hong Kong, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Helsinki, Geneva, Stockholm, Hamburg, Abu Dhabi, with extreme focus on advanced technology integration in the realms of transportation, energy management, and food and water supply. You get the idea. So again, within this area, you'll have your transportation to get wherever you need to get, which it's only 15 minutes. So really, why do you even need transportation? But they'll have some type of, or they'll try to establish some semblance of transportation, right? Food, water, you'll have your grocery stores, things like that. Again, everything is within this region that you want. So again, if you try to leave it for whatever reason, why do you need to leave it? You have everything that you can want here. It's about control. It's about putting people in little barns, little sections, little sectors. I believe you had that if you ever watched the movie, what was the fucking name of the movie? The Katniss Everdeen chick. Hunger Games, right. In Hunger Games, each place had a different district. I think they had about 10 districts, maybe a little bit more than that. But they had about, I want to say it was like maybe 10 districts or so. And within that, you had people in there. And I don't believe that the people within those districts can leave, right? So again, it's about control. So also, it has, I believe it has here it has a video here. And these are just, again, the list of, here's a list of 14 cities in the United States ready to be, well, they're saying so-called ready to be burnt to the ground using weather and energy weapons in preparation, to become Orwellian AI and government-controlled 15-minute smart cities, which we'll see what happens with this, but, right, this is the places that supposedly they want to put 15-minute cities in, and we'll see, Lord's willing, what happens with this. But this is something that they talk about, as well as with, you can add AI surveillance into that, right? Which I did a lesson last week going into how, essentially AI will essentially act like how the eyes of the Heavenly Father are the angels. Essentially, AI will act like the eyes for them, seeing and hearing everything, right? And you can be for sure that within these 15-minute cities, AI will be something very prevalent in it. Right, seeing and watching everything. And if you try to leave this city for whatever reason, AI will let that be known and say, hey, why are you trying to leave, and put it out there on notice. Again, you can't leave your region without a say-so. You need permission. Now, before I play this, I want to get that precept that I mentioned in Second Ezra. Let's start verse 14. This is Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with sword in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So eventually, they're going to have checkpoints. But one of the ways that they're trying to do these checkpoints is with these 15-minute cities. All right? Within this region, you have to understand, they have to put, you can't just put these checkpoints all over the place. Now, again, they will try to quell the minds of the people, calm, because you have to understand, anytime something happens, Esau likes to calm you down, right? He's doing something evil, but he doesn't want to make it seem like he's doing something evil. So he has to calm you down and give you reasons as to why he's doing this, why this is happening. So, hey, when they give you their 15-minute control cities, it's really to control you. It's really to put you in region blocks to where they can have you in a controlled environment. But they can't make it just outright seem like what is the purpose of these cities? So that's why they come out with the convenience. Hey, within this city, you will have all your primary needs. And the world is going to get chaotic and things like that. So, hey, why leave your region? Why leave it when you're safe in your little bubble? And people like staying in a bubble, right? Bubbles of their lives and things like that. So now we have your little bubble here with your 15-minute cities, your 15-minute regions. And within that, you have all your access to everything that you can need. But for our people, don't be thinking that, hey, with these 15-minute cities that they're going to bring, a good food or, good stuff in your neighborhood. No, you're going to have exactly what you have in your areas now. You have your Chinese food, your Wingstop, your Burger King, McDonald's. Well, hey, that's going to be in your 15-minute city. They're not going to bring, Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and all that type of stuff, which, Whole Foods and Trader Joe's still type bullshit, But still, it's better than, Chinese food and Burger King and things like that. So in these J communities, you're going to still have your Burger King, like I was mentioning, your McDonald's, your Wingstop, all your fried food, right? All that stuff that's not good for you. You're still going to have your seed towns and all that. You're not going to have, your Whole Foods and things like that, these places in your region. So don't think that you're going to get an upgrade and it's going to be nice for you. No, you're still going to have your bad regions with your bad food. But they're still going to, entrap you into these pretty much 15-minute cities. So again, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And hey, that could also be through martial law, start locking places down. Things is getting too crazy within the 50 states. So hey, we need to start making checkpoints. We need to start, quarantine wouldn't be the right word, but sectioning off states to make sure nobody's coming in, nobody's leaving out. Right. And one of the ways to do that as well, which would make it easier, which would be seen as a benefit, is these 15-minute cities. Again, it's about control. Remember, problem, reaction, solution. There's a problem, right? The people react, then bring in the solution, right? Things is getting chaotic in the 50 states. What's the saying? All hell breaking loose. So, hey, there's a reason for these things. Hey, 15-minute cities. Right, this could really, help out the situation that is occurring. But let me go back to the article and play this real quick.
Los Angeles 2.0.
Would you
They're not
believe
even
them?
trying to hide it anymore. 15-minute cities, here they come. Our good friend Gavin Newsom can't control his enthusiasm. He's smiling ear to ear. There's still houses on fire. Oh, how convenient. A smart city in LA by 2028, just in time for the Olympics. They are telling you to your face what they're doing. And he can't contain himself.
And all that opportunity and that pride and spirit that comes from not just hosting those three iconic games and venues, but also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0, and we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan?
For
Tell
this
us about
region,
this Marshall
we're just
Plan.
starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance.
See, like I was using that word region, right? These 15-minute city regions.
For the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery effort.
It's like they tell us the truth right in our faces, and we don't say nothing.
How dare you?
He said it himself. He was going to do a Marshall Plan to rebuild California. What more did you need him to say?
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm not going to be here.
Mm-hmm. I'll just get this precept. All right, this is Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, which is plans. So all this stuff that's coming out, right, when we read these articles, when, hey, even they say it themselves, right, about 15-minute cities, AI and things like that, using AI, all this is the type of plans, because when you go into the word devices, that's essentially plans, right? Oh, I'm not using the blue letter, so I can't show you, right? But devices essentially means plans. So they plan to what? We understand depopulate the earth, right? And with that, have people within these 15-minute cities, 15-minute regions. And within that, like I was saying, you will have all your primary things that you need within a 15-minute city region. And within that is how they'll be able to control you and keep you in a box where you can't escape. And when you're in this, you can only do things according to what they want, right? As they'll say, for your safety and things like that, to keep order and things like that. Hey, if you do leave your region, you can only, like I was giving the example earlier, you can only be gone for so long until you need to come back, no later than 30 minutes. If you extend past that, you're going to be penalized for that, right? They may say, hey, you can't go back out for another week or so, or whatever. So again, they give you the convenience as how this will be, they'll tell you things about how this will benefit you, make life easier and things like that. But again, it's always about control. Again, once people are in the midst of this, they'll see that, oh, I can't go anywhere like I used to go, right? Or even right now, right? We understand, things like the, it just escaped me, like how the Malthusian theory, right? And the Club of Rome pretty much adopted that as well. The whole Malthusian theory is pretty much the earth is not going to be able to, have enough space, have enough resources for the amount of people on earth. So essentially, the population of the earth has to be pretty much reduced, right? That's why, Bill Gates had that TED talk about, essentially, people taking the stab that'll, bring the population down by a bit. And that's good. Those are his words. You can find it, TED Talk, right? Excuse me. So all these things add to their plans, their devices, right? 15-minute city regions, AI surveillance, depopulation. So that way it's easier to watch the amount of people within these areas, right? Again, the Malthusian theory, like I was mentioning, right? The earth doesn't have enough resources to give out to this amount of people. So Therefore, the population of people have to be reduced. It has to be brought down, right? There was another point that I wanted to make, but I just forgot, unfortunately. So, Lord's willing, I'm trying to give it a second to see if maybe if the Spirit will have me remember. Maybe bring that point out for maybe Lord's willing another video. Maybe it just wasn't supposed to come out, right? But essentially, Lord's willing, this video made sense and was edifying that, just to summarize the lesson, essentially, again, these 15-minute regions is not for your convenience. It's to control you. It's to have complete control on you and have eyes, right? Like you see in certain movies, Big Brother is watching you, right? And how does Big Brother watch you, right? By having you in a controlled area, right? The same thing like actually if you had a Big Brother and he's like, hey, stay here so I can keep my eye on you, right? He wants you in an area where he can keep his eyes on you. Same thing like Esau being Big Brother. I need to keep you in an area, a region, where I can keep my eyes on you. And my eyes are going to be AI surveillance within these 15-minute cities. You see? So, pray that this video has been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the Apostle Elders, the Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom.